guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready? Ready.
What's up, everybody? It's Spruce Goose here, back with another video for the HuddleGG channel. And in today's video, I want to show you what I think is the best RPO in all of Madden 21, and it's also just one of the most fun plays in the entire game. Now, if you enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and also hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload from the HuddleGG channel. And if you enjoy my breakdown, please consider checking out my YouTube channel, SpruceGooseTV, and also check me out on Twitch. I'm also SpruceGooseTV over there, and I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So let's jump into the play. Now, this is a play that you can find in 5 different playbooks in the game. It's going to be in the Bears, Colts, Chiefs, Eagles, and the spread playbook. Or if you're in MUT, the spread playbook is also known as the pass balance playbook, and that's the playbook that I'm in right now. So I have 33 shotgun formations to choose from, but we are going to go to the gun Y-off trips formation, and the play is going to be RPO bubble Y pop. I'll put the play art up on the screen because I know my face cam is hiding it a little bit. There are actually 3 different versions of RPO bubble Y pop in the spread playbook, and we're actually going to look at another one of those in just a minute. But for now, we're going to do the one out of gun Y-off trips and just do random play on defense. So here's the play art, and there are a lot of things happening on this play. There are really 5 different options, which is a little bit overwhelming at a glance. You've got your classic read option choices where you can either hand off to the running back or keep it with your quarterback. But then we also have 3 different passing options. We have our X receiver on kind of a curl or fade option route. We have our tight end on a pop route, kind of a streak basically, from the tight end spot, and also a bubble screen on the right side. And so you may look at this and say, oh my gosh, 5 different options. That is probably too many options to read in a moment when you snap the ball, and you're absolutely right. And that's why we're going to mainly focus on the 3 options in the middle of the field. The 2 options on the outside, both the X receiver on either the curl fade option route as well as the bubble screen, they can work very situationally, but 9 times out of 10, I'm staying with the 3 options in the middle of the field: the running back, the quarterback, and the tight end. And so I'm going to focus on those 3. If you want to go into practice mode and mess around with those other 2 options, you can. A little tip I'll say is that the best way to get some success from your bubble screen is to actually take your X receiver and motion him in. And by changing that alignment up, you will get better blocking from your B receiver when you throw that bubble screen. Now, I don't know if it's going to be open right there. Yeah, it looks like they're playing man coverage, so you wouldn't have thrown that anyway. But in the event that you make a pre-snap read and you want to throw that bubble screen, definitely motion that X receiver in, and you'll get a little bit better blocking. And even then, you saw he didn't really block very well. And the blocking is honestly the biggest reason why I usually don't throw it. Even when you do that motion, it's a little hit or miss. So that's why I really like to focus on the 3 options in the middle of the field. So let's do that right now. So on a typical read option, your first choice is always to hand off to the running back, and that's simple enough. Now, if you've never really run read options before, what's going to happen is your quarterback, if you don't press anything, is actually going to keep the ball. So I'm going to not press anything after I snap the ball, and you see he's going to keep it right here. And so he actually, in addition to keeping it, he actually pulled up into a kind of passing stance. So if you want to hand the ball off to the running back, you need to actually hold down A or X, whatever your button is to snap the ball. So A on Xbox or X on PlayStation. As your running back passes by the quarterback, you need to hold down, in my case, A, and that will hand the ball off to the running back. And so what I'm typically reading for is I'm reading for the user, and I'm reading for some running lanes. And if I get a look that I like, then I'll go ahead and just hand the ball off. And that is the safest option every time for, I'd say a reliable, at least 3-4 yards, and sometimes a lot bigger gains than that, is just simply handing it off. Now, if at the snap you see the user about to shoot the gap and bring the running back down in the backfield, I definitely wouldn't recommend handing it off. But at least the first couple times you run it before they start shooting gaps and really committing to the run, I'd say handing the ball off is a pretty safe option. And you see right there, we got another 8 yards. It's a pretty good run. I definitely would say, when in doubt, stick with the run. Don't overcomplicate it. Just hand the ball off. Now, let's go to our next option. Let's say the user is starting to shoot the gap and hit the running back right as he gets the handoff. That's where you're going to want to keep with the quarterback, and this is also where having an escape bar as quarterback really comes in handy. I chose the Cardinals because Kyler Murray has the escape bar ability, and if we keep the ball with an escape bar as quarterback, we're going to really fly. We're going to really fly after we keep it with our quarterback and start sprinting. Now, I'm definitely holding down the sprint button as well as pointing the left stick kind of up and to the right in this case as I start to run, because if you remember, if you don't press anything, you will go into a passing stance. So again, I'm not going to press anything this time, and look how he drops back into that passing stance. If you try to run the ball with the quarterback after going to that passing stance, you're going to have a really tough time. So you definitely want to be holding down the sprint button and pointing your left stick the moment that you decide, I'm keeping the quarterback, we're going to need to be running the ball. And so as you can see, it can be pretty deadly running with this quarterback right here. And so the one thing I want you guys to remember is don't decide pre-snap you're going to keep with your quarterback. And I still did. I've been running this play for over 2 months now, and I still decide sometimes I'm going to run with the quarterback before the snap. And what you can do is put yourself in a really bad spot where handing off to the running back was the right decision, but because you decided pre-snap you're going to run with the quarterback, you end up taking a loss instead of handing off to the running back who would have had an easy 5 to 10 yards. So definitely keep that in mind. Make the read every single time. For this video, I'm just keeping with the quarterback just to show you how it works, but honestly, make the read every single time. So those are our first two options, but what makes this play so great is actually this third option with the tight end right here, and it is going to really catch your opponents off guard the first couple times they see it, because they're worried about the running back and the quarterback, and all of a sudden, that tight end just sneaks right into that seam, and you can just gash them for huge yards. I mean, I get one-play touchdowns out of this sometimes because they're not ready for it, and you really need to make the read to the tight end pretty quick. And so at the snap, it's basically if this linebacker is crashing in and if this defensive back is not going super hard to the inside, then you can see basically if there's this giant gap right here, you can throw the ball. But you really want to make the tight end read pretty quick, and then you can throw it to him and run after the catch. It's very dangerous making this throw, and the first couple times I was running this play, I threw a lot of picks to linebackers because I would decide pre-snap I want to throw the tight end, and then it would turn out that it was actually not open because there was a linebacker in the way. And it's just one of those things that the more reps that you get in it, the easier the read will be. Now, right there, I threw right out of safety. I had to aggressive catch it in order to make the catch. And so it really can be a little dicey. And there's one other thing I want to show you guys. Right there, I purposely waited to throw the ball because one of the biggest mistakes that I still make to this day is I wait too long to throw the tight end, and I get illegal man downfield penalties. So if you watch right here, watch 67 in this case, our left guard. He is not going to have a defender in front of him at the snap, so he's going to go to the next level. He's going to block that linebacker, and now he is across the 5-yard mark from the line of scrimmage. So the line of scrimmage is the 50, and so imagine a line 5 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. Oh, I'm trying to put my cursor on it. Any lineman who goes across this line when the ball is thrown is going to get an illegal man downfield penalty. So this play would get called back. It doesn't matter if it's just his foot sticking across the line. It doesn't matter if the tight end's wide open. That is illegal man downfield. And that is the single biggest thing that I think people might struggle with when they run this play is they wait a little too long for the tight end to get open. Right there, it looked like a free touchdown, but because I waited too long, it was an illegal man downfield penalty. I'll show you guys again. It was on the left side. It typically will happen on the side opposite of the tight end. So go ahead, see right there, number 52 this time. 52, he's across that 5-yard line. Now, if I had just thrown it a little bit sooner, if I had gotten the snap and thrown it instantly, throw it right there, you're fine because the O-lineman has not reached that 5-yard mark yet. So I definitely think that the tight end read needs to happen extremely fast if you want to even consider the tight end read, because if you wait more than just a second, then it's an illegal man downfield penalty, and you're just pushing yourself backwards instead of forward. And so for that reason, it's really tough to make all three reads. I would say that at the snap, you can almost do a pre-snap read sometimes of the tight end. So like right here, I would say if that linebacker who has the P icon over his head, the pass read, if he shoots outside, I'm not throwing the tight end, and I'm just going to move my eyes to the middle, and I'm going to either hand off to the running back or keep it the quarterback. If he shoots inside, I can definitely throw it. And so right here, he shot outside. I'm just going to keep with the quarterback, and there we go. And remember also, if you keep it the quarterback, definitely look to follow your running back. That's something I forgot to mention before. But your running back will serve as a great lead blocker. So right here, I decided to just follow the running back. He sets that little block right there. And we just go right up the seam for a nice 15, 16-yard gain. Right here, it looks like we can probably throw the tight end pre-snap. But again, if he ends up being manned up by the linebacker right in front of him, or if that middle linebacker shoots outside, we're not throwing it. Now, at the snap, you see that it was those guys both were crashing in, so you throw it instantly, and now I've got a 17-yard gain. So that is the way to use the tight end read. Again, people, the biggest mistake they make is they wait too long. They want to roll out here and then throw it late, and not only is that like not open right there, but you will get an illegal man downfield penalty almost every single time. But this is RPO bubble wide pop. Again, it's one of my favorite plays in the entire game, and it is just so much for your opponent to try and keep track of, because they're like, do I want to go and use it the running back? Do I want to use it the quarterback? Do I want to use it the tight end? And you will see them get confused. You'll see them run in with their user, try to bait the tight end throw, and then they're running back out to the tight end. You keep it the quarterback, and now you're running at their user, and they're just running away from you because they're still trying to guard the tight end. And so it can really keep your opponent on their toes and just be a really, really tough play to defend. Now, there's one other version, very quick, I want to show you guys, and I actually ran this play for a 2-point conversion attempt to win the game. I was in a Friday Night Football, the $1,000 Mutthead tournament every Friday night, and I was in a situation where I scored a touchdown with no time left on the clock. I could go for 1 to tie the game or go for 2 to win the game, and I went for 2 to win the game, and I ran this play right here. And so if you're in the spread playbook, or again, the pass balance playbook, if you're in Mutt, and tackle over trips, there is another version of RPO bubble wide pop, and this is it's the same play at a glance, but there's one caveat that makes this play so unique. And so here's the play art. You might say, oh, it's just the same play. Maybe the tight end's doing a slightly different route, but it's essentially the same play. But what I want you to look at is the alignment. Our tight end is actually lined up in the tackle position, and our tackle from the right side is actually lined up on the left side. We have 2 tackles over on the left side, and the tight end's in the tackle position on the right side. And what this does is, the first time you run this play, your opponent usually does not realize that that's your tight end right there. They see the extra person on the line on the left side, and they look for the tight end, who they think is the tight end on the left side, to be popping out over there. And so they tend to really shift to the left at the snap, especially because the run, if you were to hand the ball off, also would go to the left. And real quick, I'll say, if you're not running this for a 2-point conversion, it still functions just like the other version of RPO bubble wide pop. You can still hand the ball off, and it's still not a bad run. I definitely went straight into the defender right there. I definitely wouldn't recommend it necessarily on a 2-point conversion play, but it can be a very solid run. And if you don't want to hand it off, you still have the run with the quarterback as well. And so you can run it just like RPO bubble wide pop out of Y-off trips, but the difference is with the tight end coming from the tackle position right there, and it was not open right there. I should have handed it off. Basically, what happened, and we're not getting the right look in this situation, but what happened when I ran this in FNF was that the user just completely crashed down this run, and the tight end just flew right by him, and it was an easy 2-point conversion. And so this is something I want you guys to keep in mind if you're ever going to run the spread playbook. Keep in mind this version of tackle over trips. That's the look I was looking for right there, and that's kind of similar to how it happened in my FNF game. If the user is on the field, they are always going to be crashing from right to left because they see the run, they see the extra lineman over here, and they think that he's the one that might pop out. And then from the tackle position right here, if I can get my cursor on it, nope, that's okay. Right there. From the tackle position right here, the tight end just leaks out, and you can just throw it right to him, and it catches a lot of people by surprise. So definitely keep this in mind. I'm not saying you should run it every play, but this is just a really nice tool to have to catch your opponents off guard in really crucial, I would say in this case, short yard situations. I don't like running this play in the middle of the field. It really only seems to be good for getting 1 or 2 yards most of the time. But if you can find a way to run it in the middle of the field, then definitely give that a shot too. But anyway, guys, that is the breakdown of RPO bubble Y pop, both the Y off trips version and the tackle over trips version. There's a third version in, I believe, Y off trips. Which version is it? We'll find out real quick. There's a third version in Y trips offset. That's what it is. I don't really run that version very much. But if you're in the spread playbook and you want a third version, then go to Y trips offset. There is another version in there as well. I just like the one I have Y off trips and tackle over trips more. But anyway, guys, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the breakdown, please consider liking and subscribing and hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload from the Huddle channel. Also consider checking out my channel, SpruceGooseTV, over on YouTube. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you in the next video.